What is going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Before we start, I want to remind you guys that around 90% of the people who are watching this video aren't even subscribed. So if you haven't already and you enjoy a lot of NBA content, then I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And also, if you do enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like. It makes a big difference in helping this channel grow, and I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about the Lakers. Now, obviously, all the caveats, it's early in the season, right? But for some reason, the freakouts have already begun, the overreactions. And a lot of it is not really that serious. People are just, kind of getting their reactions off and getting their hot takes off to start the season. It's only been a week, but you know how it is. It's the internet, it's Twitter, it's all these, TV shows that they're going to overreact to everything. It doesn't matter how many games have been played. And I'm recording this, and again, the Lakers are the one team that everyone's kind of talking about because first off, they lose to the Warriors in their home opener without Steph even playing all that great. Then they lose to the Suns. They get kind of blown out, really. And then there was that whole situation with Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard on the bench. They kind of went after it, kind of shoved each other in the bench. That was obviously not a good look. And they were down, 20-something in that game, almost 30. And when you're down like that, you don't want your two guys going at each other like that on the bench. Not a good look. But again, they say that it was kind of resolved and it, whatever happened. Then they go to, they beat Memphis. Sorry, they beat Memphis. It was a close game. Ja Morant went off, and I'm going to have a video on him soon because, my goodness, he's amazing. But they barely win that game. They got kind of lucky because Ja missed the free throw, and they win by 3. And now we're here, and actually right now, as I'm talking, the Lakers are up 16 against the Thunder at halftime, and I get it's the Thunder, so I get it. But the biggest thing I want to talk about with the Lakers is just that people need to relax. I feel like people are just kind of freaking out about the Lakers because of the expectations that are on them, and it's reasonable, the expectations that are high, because you don't make all these moves, you don't sign all these guys just to barely get through the regular season or not even be anywhere near the top of the Western Conference, right? The expectation is you have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis, you have Russell Westbrook, you have a bunch of veteran guys like Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo, you have wing guys like Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington. You're expected to be a really good team, and it was a slow start. That's just the way it was. But the biggest thing for me is just, guys, they're gonna be fine. That's just the biggest thing. If I want anything to take away from this video on the Lakers, they're gonna be fine. It was, let's be honest, rough, those 2 games, and it was very clear when you were watching the games. They were clearly working through those typical pains that you have with a new team and a bunch of new guys trying to fit in. It was very clear because the rotations that Frank Vogel had were not good. Russell Westbrook was not good to start off. He clearly was he had no idea what he was supposed to do on that team because he is a point guard, a ball handler who was supposed to have the ball in his hands for him to be productive at all, and he's not. That's not the expectation for him because you have LeBron and he's going to do all that. So then what does that do for Westbrook? Because he can't shoot. He just can't. So what is he supposed to do when he doesn't have the ball in his hands on the offensive end? If you watch these, clips and all these films that a lot of the guys break down on YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff, the spacing was terrible. And when you don't have a shooter, and Westbrook's not supposed to be that guy, what are you supposed to do? It's just not a good look. But I think that with the spacing, I think that's just going to come with more time. I think that Westbrook is just still trying to adjust with this role of not being the primary ball handler. And honestly, why I'm not worried about them, there were some signs in these games, though they were close, even though they were not ideal situations because of just how close they were. There were some signs that made me think, okay, this team has something, and there is a fit here for Westbrook. Specifically, the pick and roll, because typically what you would think, at least what I thought, when Westbrook was announced as the traded to the Lakers, you would think, okay, pick and roll with him and LeBron, with LeBron being the roller because of his size and how dominant he is. A pick and roll with those two would work really well, or a pick and roll with him and AD. It would work really well. It really hasn't. I mean, they've tried it, but the one thing that has worked is basically the opposite, where LeBron is the one with the ball and Russell Westbrook is the roller. If you watch the clips, that actually worked really well, and I think it will work because Russ is very athletic. He's very strong. He can take all the contact, and he's not afraid to get to the rim and, get to the line or even finish strong. He can do that. So if you have Westbrook as your roller instead of LeBron or AD, that is something that Russell Westbrook can do when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. It's better than, having him set a pick and fade back out and shoot a three or get into the mid-range. That's not his game. He just doesn't shoot. It would be nice if he did. It would make this team so much better, but that's just not his game, and that's fine. There is something he can do. The roll game, him, getting to the basket, I think that it'll be okay. That's the one thing. Second thing, first of all, Frank Vogel needs to fix his adjustments. AD needs to start at center. I don't know why he hasn't. I don't know if it's coach making the decision or if it's AD himself not wanting to play center. I don't know what it is, but it has to change. He has to play center. It's just better because him and DeAndre Jordan on the court together is not good. It just doesn't work. Same thing with Westbrook and Rondo. I don't know why Vogel is putting them together on the court. It just does not work. It's not good. It's ugly when they're on the court together. It's actually ugly watching them on the court together. That needs to change. But still, I think they're going to be fine. Again, I think it's just a rotation thing. I feel like Vogel has to know that these rotations simply don't work and they have to be changed. If AD played center, it would solve a lot of the problems. This is the starting five I actually think would really work well with the Lakers. If they went with Westbrook, Malik Monk, because he's actually been shooting well and playing really well for this team, Kent Bazemore, decent shooter but pretty good defender, then Bron and AD. If you have that five, I think it will work with this team. I don't know why we're still, going with DeAndre Jordan in 2021 as the starting center. It does not work. He is not that good right now. It's just the plain truth. And the lineup does not work. The spacing is off. It just doesn't work. It's just not good. But still, I think that there's too much talent on this team for it not to work out. That's just the way I feel. Now, obviously, LeBron has been out with an ankle soreness. It's not even an injury. He's just out with general soreness, which I actually think is the smart thing to do. It's very early in the season. Might as well just get your rest in right now to make sure you're healthy. So, that's fine. And, Russ and AD played really well in San Antonio. Russ almost had a triple-double. He had 33. AD had 31, I think. So, it's not like those guys are scrubs. And it's interesting that when you don't have LeBron, those guys played really well. That's going to be something that's going to be talked about, obviously, what happens when LeBron comes back because, the roles change. I still think it'll be okay. Another thing, this is one thing that actually does worry me, and it partly has to do with injuries, but not really. I don't know what it is with Anthony Davis, but every time he falls to the ground, which is a lot, by the way, I always just automatically assume he tore his ACL because he's always like grabbing his knee or grabbing his ankle and he's always like wincing in pain and he's down for a while. But then he gets back up, runs a little bit, jogs a little bit, walks it off, and then he's fine. This can't be like something that happens every single time with this guy. He's already known to be prone to injuries. We saw it last year. And for him to be constantly falling on the ground like that and, getting hurt but then being okay, it's just too scary and too risky. If you're the Lakers, you have to be concerned about that. I think it's still fine because when he's healthy, he's playing great. But just him constantly falling like that, it's just not a good sight. Every game, it seems like he's falling on the ground, getting hurt, getting back up and being fine. But then the next day, he's on the injury report and we're saying, okay, he's questionable for the game. This is not going to work if it's a pattern every single game this year. just this OKC game. He fell really hard and really bad in the San Antonio game. It actually looked really scary. But then he got back up and played really well in overtime. And then he became questionable for this game. He was actually like, right until, he was a game time decision. And then he was fine. Like, this is going to be a problem all season long if he doesn't stay healthy. That's going to be, I just don't know what this team is going to look like if AD's hurt. LeBron's hurt, and I still think they're going to be okay. But if AD goes down with something that's actually going to keep him out for time, I don't know, man. It's just, this can't keep happening with him. But still, again, it's only game 5 of 82. They're going to be fine. There are signs that make me believe this team is going to be just fine. Certain offensive schemes, certain role players showing up like Carmelo Anthony, I almost said Karl Anthony Towns, Carmelo Anthony, Malik Monk. This kid Austin Reeves is a pretty decent shooter. He's actually been really good for this team. They're going to be fine. It's just a lot of growing pains right now, which you expect with the new team. But yeah, they'll be fine. So everyone just calm down for a little bit. That goes for all those first take undisputed people making all these, stupid headlines, freaking out. Everyone on Twitter, all these Lakers fans acting like they're going through some kind of struggle right now. Calm the fuck down. You're a very good team still. You have a lot of talent. You're gonna be fine. You had a few bumps in the road to start the season. Everyone does. It's gonna be fine. Alright. Thank you guys for watching this little rant. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like. And also, comment down below what you think about this Lakers team so far. And do you still think that, they're going to be fine? Or no, you still have some concerns? Be sure to let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for more NBA content like this. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys as always for your continuous support. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.